Hi, you own a well and you're wondering how do you maintain it, right? Great question. We get this all the time. So, we're not a well driller, but we've dealt with wells for 50 years at Angel Water. And so we work hand in hand with a lot of well drillers. And I got to tell you, you need to have one to partner with. Yes, how do you maintain it? Get a partner. In our area, we have a Peter Snelton and Sons. They're great guys. They come out and they check out the well once a year. Now, if you don't do that, or if you want to do that maybe every other year, here's what I do recommend when it comes to working with a well. As a licensed plumbing contractor, we really don't want to touch anything from the pressure tank back into the well. That's why a licensed plumbing or licensed well contractor is someone you want to get friends with, because they can come out once a year and check your well with you. But if you want to visually check a few things, this video will help you understand a little bit about how to maintain your well. First and foremost, the biggest thing I've seen in 25 years is what's called short cycling pressure tank. That's where your pressure tank, this is the basement of a house, and this is a pressure tank. So it's usually located by an exterior concrete wall. That's in the basement. If you're in Florida, we don't have basements, so they would be upstairs. But this pressure tank is half air. The top half is air, the bottom half is water. And you can see this cross cut of the earth shows you that basically this pressure tank will have a pressure gauge, a pressure switch, and then water lines that come in and go out of the tank. It's actually like a T. That pressure gauge looks like this. And so what I see most of the time is this pressure gauge. The pressure gauge, the little needle will go down to 40. Then that's when the pressure in this bladder drops down to 40. And then all of a sudden it kicks on. That means that the pump here has turned on and forces water up. And then it turns off at 60. But guess what I see? I come downstairs, turn on the water, and I hear this thing going click, 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 click. And that pressure gauge, the little needle is going back and forth, back and forth. That's a real problem. Let me tell you why. That means that the bladder broke. There's no bladder in there. So it's all water. Now, that means that this pump is turning off and on, off and on, and off and on. And people sometimes have told me, they look at me, they're like, well, was that a problem? Well, you're going to burn out the pump, but here's the problem from a water filter company's perspective, is you're agitating the aquifer. So that off and on will get sand coming down in there. And the next thing you know, you have sand going through your house. And it's a major, very expensive problem. And it's a big process to address that. So well companies are always, first thing they're doing is checking to see if the pressure gauge goes down slow as you're using water, and then click, it turns on, and it slowly goes back up, and it usually goes between a swing between 40 and 60 PSI. That's a 20-point swing. Sometimes homes are set from 50 to 70, but again, there's a 20-point swing, and it's a slow up and down process. So that's why you want to understand that you, first of all, run water and watch that goes through a very slow cycle. That's number one to check for. Number two is check for any rusting or problems or leaks on the pressure tank. Third thing is, let's go outside. You want to look at this well cap every year, several times during the summer, because if you're cutting the lawn and this is made of PVC, your lawnmower or your landscaper could hit that. Guess what? That causes a crack inside that pipe, and guess what happens when it becomes cold outside? Little critters build homes in here, then they fall and die in your aquifer, and then you're pumping that water with that bacteria into your home, and you're getting sick. I've seen this so many times. Also, we don't want dogs or animals their waste to get on anywhere near this, because look at this, it's just a pipe in the ground. So as the rain melts, that poo and that water can easily slide down the side of this and get into your aquifer and make your family sick. So I've seen many of these cases where people get sick from a broken well cap, a broken well pipe. Also, the well casing or the cap on top, we want to make sure that that's mounted properly. It's usually made of steel, so you want to make sure that's very firm. Also, it's got a little vent on the side, so it allows airflow to take place. So don't put dirt and soil on top of that. I've seen that many times. This should be sticking out 12 inches from the grass. That's 12 inches. 8 to 12 inches, the EPA suggests. So just warning to you to make sure that you inspect that every year to make sure nothing's going wrong with that, because that is how you can get your family accidentally sick. So these are the basics that you need to do. I do recommend that everyone has a well drilling company out to their house once every year or two. Some old school well guys are like, oh, you don't need to do that. It's still worth it to me to have them come out once every couple years, because this is the source of your fresh water. And remember, you are the water authority for your family, and you will have only one body. So let's treat that body with as much respect and kindness as we can. And the way you do that is to be vigilant over your well system. If you have any further questions, you can always call us at 847-382-7800. You can also visit us on the web, check out some of our other videos. We'd also love it if you like this video or share it with other people who are on well water. We would be very grateful for that. Again, as you know, my name is Drew, and I'm here to serve you.